Hey, I'm Zach.
And I'm Jesse.
Thanks for joining us for Tesla Time News.
Bite-sized.
Sponsored by our friends at the solar-powered hotels in Schaumburg, Illinois, the Fairfield Inn and Suites by Marriott, and the Town Place Suite Hotel right next door. They're both connected, they're both solar-powered, and they've both got EV charging. Now, this is really cool. Check this out. What do you think that is?
It looks like a supercharger on a truck?
You got it.
What?
So Brian Swenson reports here from the San Luis Obispo Supercharger here over Thanksgiving weekend. He says that this can charge 100 Teslas.
So wait, that's a big battery pack, and then you have a bunch of supercharger stalls. Now, those look like urban supercharger stalls. That's usually capped at like 72 kilowatts.
He claims the numbers they were seeing there was 125 kilowatts. So I guess they can put through whatever they want to put through. And so this is really cool. I mean, this means that when you've got a spot on the map where you might have a kind of bottleneck, like, you know, during Thanksgiving weekend, a lot of people are traveling. And so it's unusual routes usually, right? I mean, these are routes people don't normally take. These are getting to grandma's house.
Now, this is really interesting because if Tesla were to implement some kind of route planning thing where you could plan a route a week or two or, you know, however long you want in advance and then kind of like confirm the route. So you'd be like, oh, okay, I'm going to drive from, you know, LA to San Francisco on Thanksgiving to visit my family, and then I'm going to do these other things. It would not only help you plan your entire trip, but it would also help Tesla because then they would know where you were going to be and they could say, oh, there's going to be a lot of people at this specific supercharger, and they could either try and route you differently or they could pull in one of these things and make sure that everyone would have a charge by saying like, oh, okay, so there's going to be an extra 100 vehicles there. That means we're going to need to pull in a truck or two to help with the capacity of that specific supercharger. And so this is a huge game changer for Tesla because the problem with capacity and superchargers is that once you build the supercharger, it has a capacity, a big capacity. And to increase that capacity takes a lot of infrastructure. So being able to just kind of roll one of these in right at the peak, I think that's going to be massive.
Yeah, I mean, any parking lot really can take this. You don't have to have any infrastructure there other than some spaces.
Right.
Well, and this just puts other networks to shame, in my opinion, because if you look at like Electrify America, they've got spots where they've got like 2 or 4 chargers. This thing pulls up and you've got, you know, you can handle 100 cars. And speaking of charging, the Model 3 just got a charge boost.
With a software update, it has greatly increased supercharging speeds for a lot of Model 3 drivers. So the Model 3 Standard Range Plus has gone up to 170 kilowatts.
Yep.
And the mid-range Model 3, which is my car, now goes up to 200 kilowatts. I didn't even know that I was limited. Apparently before this, the Standard Range Plus was capped out at 100 kilowatts, and the mid-range was capped out at 120 kilowatts. Now, what does this mean for your Standard Range Plus owners? Well, if you're charging 20% to 80%, which is a normal supercharging cycle, this should save you about 14 minutes.
Now, this is crazy. Tesla's not advertising that they have a mega pack on wheels, and they're not really advertising that they've just, with a software update, updated all their Model 3s in terms of charging, except for the
standard range base model.
Right. Those can still just charge up to 100 kilowatts.
But still, there aren't that many standard ranges on the road.
Right.
It's a lot of standard range pluses. That's a very popular battery configuration. It's a great size.
Well, and this 14 minutes that's faster, so that's great for you as the user, but that means that you'll be out of that stall 14 minutes faster, which means that you just increase the capacity of all superchargers by a whole lot.
This is huge. And it was a software update, right? They're not out there loosening nuts and bolts. It's just a bunch of code that they send wirelessly to your car.
Yeah, this is update 2019.40.1.1. Now, we mentioned earlier how Tesla has come out with version 2019.40.1.1, and included in that release is Deep Rain.
What?
Remember, Deep Rain is the neural net that's going to learn how to use the windshield wipers better. And they're going to be using the cameras and neural net fleet learning to run the windshield wipers better. Here's what Tesla says in the release notes. Automatic wipers have been improved to be more likely to activate when it is lightly raining and respond to changes in rain intensity for more environments. The automatic wipers are now employing the first production deep neural network trained with over 1 million images for the detection of water droplets on a windshield and additional weather cues. If automatic wipers are not performing to your preference, any manual adjustment to wiper speed will be captured to further further train and improve the network in future software updates. To enable automatic wipers, tap the windshield wiper icon located in the cards area on the touchscreen and select Auto.
So I didn't know that was called the cards area.
No, I didn't
It
either.
makes sense because you swipe left and right and there's like these little
cards.
little index cards that
Yeah.
pop up. So that's cool.
Yeah, every time you say I don't like the speed, you're giving the neural net some information that like, oh, it didn't respond the way you wanted. It's getting smarter.
I wonder if they're going to have different neural nets for different geographical locations.
That would be smart because, different parts of the world have different kinds of rain.
Thank you so much for joining us for Tesla Time News Bite Sized. You can watch the full Tesla Time News, which comes out every Monday, right up over here.
Now you know.